Good day, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Tito, and I'm here to discuss what makes AC different to DC and their practical applications in our everyday life. But before we go any further, let's first define what AC and DC circuits are. Now, according to Wikipedia, alternating currents, or AC for short, is an electric current in which it periodically reverses the direction of the flow of the current and continuously changes its magnitude with time. On the other hand, direct currents, or DC for short, is a linear electric current that flows in only one direction, in contrast to an AC that flows in two directions. DC power can come from multiple sources like batteries, solar and fuel cells, and a couple of alternators that have been modified to serve this purpose. AC power can also make DC power with the use of a rectifier that has the ability to convert AC to DC power. Long story short, a circuit's current is described by both AC and DC, where the current in a DC circuit flows in one direction, and in an AC circuit, current's directional flow periodically changes. That ain't enough. Here are three different major differences that separates AC and DC apart. Unlike DC that loses power while traveling long distances, AC is much safer to transfer and maintain electric power at longer distances between two cities. The change in the directional flow of currents in an AC are caused by rotating magnets, unlike the steady magnetism that causes DC's current to flow in a singular direction. And lastly, while DC doesn't have frequency, AC's frequency varies per country, with 50 or 60 Hz as the general frequency. As for the applications of these two different circuits, let's start with DC. DC is mostly used in automotive applications, such as being used in automotive batteries that provide power for engines to start, light up, and the ignition system. An example is an older vehicle that uses a 6-volt system, such as the original classic Volkswagen Beetle or the VW Type 1, Bug, or whatever you want to call it. 12-volt systems are mostly used in highway passenger vehicles, such as the Chevrolet Suburban. Whew! In other words, everything that runs off of a battery, plugs into a wall with an AC adapter, or uses a USB cable for power relies on DC. Moving on to the applications of AC, they're capable of powering electric motors used in large appliances such as refrigerators, washing machines, and so on and so forth. Most televisions, including both LCD and LED, run on AC that can also run on an inverter with a DC source. Well, that is it from me. I've been Tito, and thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day, afternoon, or evening. Paalam!